Guys, credit building is super critical. Why? As an entrepreneur, here are the 3 things that I have learned of why credit is so important, right? Here's the reality. As a business owner, when you're a brand new business owner, you are effectively one and the same. You're an individual and you're a business, but let's be honest, you're the same. So here's the reality, and it's scary and it's exciting. If the business does well, you take money home. If the business doesn't do well, you don't take money home, right? We are one and the same, and we all know that as entrepreneurs. But here's the reality of what people don't know, and these are the 3 things that I've learned as an entrepreneur. Number 1, every single application that you ever submit for the business in the early days is always going to be dependent on your personal credit, right? You want to rent a premises, they're going to check your personal credit. You want to buy a food truck, let's say, and you want to finance that, they're going to check your personal credit. You want to get a merchant account, which is the ability to accept credit cards from your customers. It's called a merchant account, okay? How do they decide if they're going to give one to you? They check your credit. So guys, the first thing that I learned is your personal credit matters more than you can imagine as a business owner. Number 2, you got to have great credit before you need it. Because if you need good credit today and you want to do something about it today, it's too late, right? The reality is you need to have your credit good, or if not great, before you ever need it, right? So some people say, oh, I don't need it, like whatever, life is good, right? I'll worry about it when I get there. How many of us have ever done that? Yeah, all of us, right? In all sorts of things, right? You got to have good credit before you need it, because to build good credit, that can take months, even years, depending on where you are currently with your credit. And so if you're going to need good credit today, hey, you got to start building that good credit 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago even. So number 2 reason, you got to have it before you need it. And number 3, you got to accept the credit because it goes up and down, okay? And so you got to use it strategically. So let's say you need to buy a whole bunch of inventory. And so you're going to max out your credit cards. Your credit score is going to drop. Okay, no big deal. Or you're going to try and buy a house for your family next month and your credit cards are maxed out and your credit score dropped. Big deal. Okay, so what you got to look at and go, hey, I'm going to use my credit. It's going to go up and down, but I got to look at the bigger picture. So if I'm not going to buy a house, if I'm not going to get a new rental apartment, if I'm not going to buy a new car in the next 6 to 12 months, it's okay for my credit to fluctuate up and down. If I am planning on buying a new house, buying a new car, things like that, a major purchase where my credit score really comes into it, I'm going to have to be super protective on my credit, right? So guys, here's the 3 things I've learned as an entrepreneur. Number 1, your personal credit matters as a business owner. Number 2, build it before you need it. And number 3, accept that it goes up, it goes down, be strategic. It's okay if it goes down, so long as you don't need to make a big purchase. It's a short term. All right, guys, have a great one.